All right. So we're
next,
back.
What's next?
We're round 5. So I'm going to plug, again, our raffle real quick. So we're raffling off a exclusive Lobstercon, Calsa Brain, original art, bespoke playmat. These are all sold out, folks. You cannot get these anymore. This is the only one that's still available for anybody who's not here. So we'll post the link in the chat to the Room to Grow Amazon wish list. And also, if you want to make a cash donation as well, send me your proof of donation at Neos Juggernaut on the Discord. We'll put your name into a raffle for this amazing playmat.
That's incredible.
Second prize, I guess, is a sealed booster pack of the Dark. Same thing. We'll be raffling these two off throughout the whole night tonight and announce the winner tomorrow. So get your entries in, get your donations in. You know, even if you don't win, it's all going to a great charity. We were talking earlier last year, we raised over $25,000. We're hoping to smash that this year.
It's incredible.
We're on the way.
Yeah.
From what I understand, we're on the way. So every bit helps. So yeah, let's do that. And once again, just for our streaming crew, the Duress crew, they're doing an awesome job. This setup is amazing. So please follow, like, subscribe, donate, whatever you want to do. But we're not bringing any of this to you guys without them. So big thank you to them as well.
Yeah.
So let's get into, we have a pretty good one in round 5 again. And it's kind of a rehash of the one you and Brian just brought us, which is the deck, or Keeper, as it's called, for Mr. Rich Shay.
Right.
Current Lobstercon defending champion, versus Andy Blaufarb, who's an Old Order member from Pennsylvania. He's on a pretty similar, I think, Arabian Aggro list than that Jared Doucette was last round.
Yeah, it does look pretty similar. There's a little bit of spice in there. I don't know if we have the deck list up.
I'll have them for Sideboarding.
Okay. All right.
So there's a Stormseeker in Andy's deck here, and so that can be like, you know, we were talking about, me and Brian were talking about what kinds of cards do you use, you know, are good against the deck, and like that card you can hit him for 7 pretty easily.
For sure.
And it can't be blasted.
And it can't be blasted. Correct. Yeah. Correct. So that's the spice in Andy's list. Otherwise,
is this an artifact blast?
Yeah, and he does have one artifact blast too.
Artifact blast too. So those are sneaky.
Yep.
You often don't anticipate those cards coming out, and you can you can mess people up by doing stuff like artifact blasting their Mox or their Lotus or whatever on turn 1.
Yep.
So cool. Let's see if that comes up.
Yeah. Otherwise, 4 Pixies, 4 Curd Apes, Dibs, Ernies, Bolts, that kind of thing. And you see Andy has the playmat on stream featured.
It's a gorgeous playmat. And for the people watching the stream, I have one of these playmats, and if you touch it, it's all the goodness of the Calsa.
It feels so good.
Yeah. It's, I have more I just threw out probably 15 playmats, and I still bought this playmat. And I'll probably throw away some more when I get home, because really, I'm not sure if you need another playmat after this one.
Yeah, like if I could make a pillowcase out of this, like that would be amazing. I'd get the best night's sleep every night.
Yeah, yep. Okay, here we go.
So I think we got starting.
Rich with the library playmat here. So he calls it Keeper.
He calls it Keeper, which is an old vintage term.
Yep. I think he calls it that because he was playing circa that era.
Yes, correct.
Which is what everyone called it. And then it was sort of Brian Weissman's branding that called it the deck.
The deck, right.
Yeah. There's the Taiga Curd Ape start.
Yep. Great opening.
Yep. Rich going to decide what he wants to do. Okay.
Balance.
That's a quick balance. If I'm Andy, that signals weakness to me.
Yep.
In Rich's hand.
That signals no swords.
No swords.
Nothing.
No bolt.
Yeah. Let's pull up Rich's to see what.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a factory. Right now, factory, you probably, if you're Rich, are just using it for mana. You're not swinging with that thing yet. But that means that Rich is also not on two blue. He probably doesn't have a second blue source in his hand, so he's off counterspell. But he does have one for the Time Walk.
And no land
drop. So he's in a bit of a dig here to see what he can get. And a recall.
Recall for one for balance. Wow.
For balance.
So, I wonder what made him think this hand was a keeper.
Yeah, I mean, just because it's called keeper doesn't mean you have to keep
right.
every hand.
You can
right?
mulligan with
Yeah,
this deck.
Right. I don't know. Maybe he's got other stuff, though. Like, maybe he's got 2 counterspells, and if he just gets to that second blue...
Sure.
Or a mana drain and a book or brain geyser mana drain or something, some combination that he's just not getting the mana to play here. And I don't know what Andy has in his hand, but this is a great place to shatter a Mox.
Sure.
If you've got it. And balance is in Rich's hand now, so you're not. I saw a dib in there, but you're not going to run that out there. Even though you don't think Rich has his swords. Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting play to kind of stem the bleeding, knowing the balance is there, because you can't really play too much into it.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of
you don't want to drop more land
that way, right?
Either Rich is already behind lands by 1. Okay.
Yep.
Now this maybe is just from Rich's side. How many? Rich has got 4 cards. Andy's around 4 cards. Maybe he's just balanced, going for the suicide balance. Yeah. So I think we had Rich's deck list up. I didn't see red in...
He has 1 Fireball main and 1 Red Blast main.
1 Red Blast main. Okay, so no bolts, though.
No bolts. 1 in the board.
1 in the board, which definitely comes in here.
Yep, and there's his second blue.
Yeah, there's his second blue, and he balanced everything back to sort of square one. 2 balances in 3 turns or something like that. 4 turns. Okay, he's looking for mana still. Now he's got 4 mana, so that brings up a lot of, like, being able to disenchant, counterspell back up, those types of lines.
Yep.
And Tutor.
Yep.
So Rich is getting it back together here. Mana drain. So you have to counter this if you're Rich, I think.
Yep.
If you have a counter. But if you don't, then you don't. You could have the blast here. Blast is also up. Nope, it's countered. So we're going to presume Rich doesn't have a counter spell right now, if we're Andy, I think. And then Andy has 2 mana, and he has a dib in his hand, so he's going to be able to pay just 1 mana and dib if he wants to. He's also got, is there a counter? Another counter? He's trying to figure out what he wants to leave up. Okay, there's the dib.
So we can play a Curdy
and a
too.
Curdy. Yep. Now the clock is back, but Rich has had a few turns to stabilize, so we'll see if he's got...
So he's used balance, recall balance.
Yeah, he could still regrow balance.
He could still regrow, and I think he has 1 more recall.
Another recall? Oh,
or
there's
the Abyss.
Or the
That's
Abyss.
fun too, yep.
That's a pretty good one for Rich. And Andy also missed his land drop last turn, so...
Yep.
He just drew a Taiga, but...
And I don't see, other than Chaos Orb, any ways to deal with the Abyss in Andy's list.
And Rich is an astute enough player to anticipate that and know that as long as he keeps a disenchant up or counterspell up,
correct,
that the Abyss is going to take this game over, as long as he can protect it from 1 out.
So that brings Rich down to 7.
Now there's also the burnout option.
Correct.
So he's low enough.
So maybe he has to be a little careful with the city, because then he's in double bolt range.
Now he's going into double bolt range. Oh, but he's going to twist.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
And leaving counter mana up.
Yep. He's got counter mana up. He's got 4-ish cards in his hand.
Yep.
And Andy's in top deck mode, so with only 3 mana. So Rich needs to find a book now. He could start attacking with Factory here, but ideally you're gonna get Library online. Okay. Well, that's
a good answer.
Timely shatter.
Yep. We're just debating
whether he wants to counter it. I don't know if this is a tough call for Rich. He counters it. The Abyss is going to win the game as long as it stays on the board. So if he has a disenchant, that means he's protected from Chaos Orb.
Yep.
And so, yeah. And he also wants to get Library online, so there's also the question of, do you spend the card? But, yeah, starting to get in with the Factory.
So what's Andy's plan from here?
I think it's just burn. You
It's
gotta
just
hope
bolt or side blast, and I think he's already used two, right?
Yep. I think you just hope the burn happens, but it actually looks like Rich has probably he's got pretty good control now.
Yep.
The Abyss is just a really, really good card. I think he might have 7 cards now. So, library's online. And I think for Andy, too, you just hold cards in your hand in order, because the Abyss is you're just dead to the Abyss.
Right.
You play a creature. So you just try to force Rich to think of lines. You know, what happens if he's got bolt? Do I have a plan?
Right.
But we're 1 turn away here, I think. No, 2, and he's got 2 turns. Okay, so
that's a blocker.
Interesting. That's a
2
blocker.
blockers, right?
2 blockers, but the Dib will also be doing damage to Andy, and so Rich could just choose not to attack here and let the Abyss eat one of those creatures, and then Andy will take 1.
Right.
And then if the Abyss eats the other creature, then he can attack for lethal with his factories. Play the land. Good. That's a good use of the red blast.
Yep.
Clear the blocker. Just let the pixies die. You don't need to send the factories in to get killed. Pixies will not take damage.
It looks like.
And it's a little bit of, now or never for Andy. So if you've got anything that might do it, this is just a blocker.
Yep.
And again, I think if you're Rich, you just sit. You let the Abyss do its job. Yep. Don't need to throw away factories. Here come the factories. And
he's down to 1.
He's down to 1. So, yep.
Not
All
going to
right.
help.
So that was Rich kind of had to pull that one together.
Yeah, he had a really uncharacteristically slow start.
Mm-hmm.
He had missed land drops. He was forced to balance really early.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wonder if he maybe just kept like a good hand against another deck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a disenchant heavy hand maybe or something.
Or based on what we saw, maybe he had the Abyss in his opener. Maybe he had a counter spell.
Yep.
He just didn't have the
nothing.
He didn't have the swords.
Going. Yeah, right.
And he didn't have white mana. Or
right.
He had white mana. He didn't have enough blue mana.
He didn't have blue mana.
And he was just banking on being able to use a bit. Maybe he had the recall too, and he was like, "Oh, I can always recall balance." So basically, lean on balance to get through the first few turns, find your lands, and then you've got a strong.
And even still, he started missing land drops for a while after that.
Yeah,
but pulled it out. That's keeper.
I think again, balance being able to set Andy back from he was on like 4 lands or 3 or 4 lands back to 1 land.
Right.
It's a big deal. So. Because that deck plays a lot fewer lands. Anyway, here's how the sideboard is the bottom row.
Bottom row.
All right, what are you thinking about bringing in here if you're Andy?
So I like the Vices.
Blast? Do you like blasts here? The artifact blast?
For tomes, what else does Rich have? For tomes, really?
You have tomes.
Any of the Moxen.
Rich could be playing Mirror Universe.
Yeah, let's see.
You have the Shatter's just better for Mirror Universe.
Yep. So many Riches. Okay.
Maybe Stormseeker.
Bring in Stormseeker. Sure. Yeah. What do you take out though?
Let's see. I think I'd take the Fireball out. I just don't see him getting enough mana for that. On the draw, I might trim a land.
Yep.
Just because your deck pretty much runs on 3 or less, especially if you take out Fireball. And if you want the Vices, though, that's a lot of spots you got to free up.
I know. Maybe like
you could take the Stormseeker.
Stormseeker, Fireball, land, and 1 Shatter.
I think you want the.
Well, you probably want the Shatter for the Vices too.
Yeah.
So one.
You need one more cut. Maybe just trim an Ernie.
Yeah, I was gonna say trim and Ernie.
One is fine. So yeah. So you take out Stormseeker, Ernie, Fireball, one land, probably.
Probably a non forest.
Maybe just take out do you need double pips of anything in there? You need double blue.
We need double blue.
But you want all your taigas. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tight deck list.
Yep.
I'm glad I don't have to be the one making these decisions.
And then for Rich
Rich has some good cards here, but again, it's the problem of what do you cut? Because
Right.
You probably don't need as much of the disenchant effects.
Yep.
Bringing in Sarah Angels also is good here because there are a bunch of these little weenie type creatures, and Sarah's both a clock and a wall.
You bring in a bolt. You bring in the maze, maybe.
Bring the bolt. I'd bring the maze. I think it's worth considering bringing the maze.
Yep.
It's super relevant. I think the Ivory Tower. We saw that do good work last match.
Yep.
You could think about that. The Abyss was super solid.
So yeah, maybe trim.
How many books are in his list? He's got
He's
four.
got 4
I'd trim a
books.
book here.
Trim a
I
book.
don't have a problem trimming a book here.
A book. Maybe one divine offering, or maybe two
Divine
offering. Leave 2 disenchant.
I would switch I would take out all 3 divine offerings and put in 1 disenchant.
Okay.
Because he has Sylvans. I think that's really the most relevant.
There you go.
Okay, so Sylvan is great. If Rich has to do things like Swords to Plowshares, your Ernies and your Dibs and stuff, that just the Sylvan turns it into free cards.
I'd be so tempted to just rip 3 off the top because what's
so.
the deck gonna do?
I think you're right. I think he took.
I think he kept 1.
He
Okay.
kept 1. Okay. I mean, maybe they all suck and you're gonna demonic tutor and
Yep.
or whatever, but yeah, I mean, use your life as a resource, and that the deck. That's one of the core concepts of playing. Keeper, is that your life is a resource. It is
Yep.
time, and
Correct.
it's also in aggro deck like this. Your life is cards with a card like Sylvan, and that's important when your goal is to basically cast 1 mana 3 damage spells until your opponent is dead. Fireball for 1 to take out the Pixies, though. That's a missed land drop
Rich
for
missed
Rich
the land
again.
drop. Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see if he can balance twice and pull it together. So did Andy take an extra? He took
another
he took
1 extra again.
Another 1 extra. Okay, that's fine.
So another Pixies.
I don't think you have to take 8,
No.
right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing a good job with that sort of life as a resource, knowing that if he wins this game, it's not going to be because, or if he loses this game, it's not because Rich outraced him. It will be because he ran out of cards and Rich had more cards.
Right.
Okay.
And wheel.
And
Yep.
wheel. I think
he's fine with discarding that.
I think it's fine.
No, we're
Rich
low on
is
mana.
just low on mana, and he has a threat on the board, and he has a way to refill his hand, and he doesn't need Rich to see more cards.
Rich has already used his Fireball.
Mm-hmm. If you brought the Sarahs in, you don't really care that much.
Right.
You don't even need the Fireball, really. It's just with a timed event. It helps.
All right, so he kept another
okay.
one.
Now I feel like Andy's maximized his Sylvan. I think you could go to... Would you go to 2? Do you think that's... Or do you... Because you do know Rich has Burn.
Right. So he does have a Bolt.
Okay, now we see a draw 7, but the Black Vice
Yep.
is on the table.
Yep. And if he draws into another one, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, Rich doesn't have that many, and he's tapped out, so it's not like he can end of turn disenchant the Black Vice if he draws it or something.
Right.
He's
he could do it on upkeep, but then that's what he can do the next
it'll
turn.
have triggered,
Right.
and he's only got
true.
3 mana. So
Right.
he probably if he upkeep disenchants, best thing he can do is
Save a life.
and the turn with 3 mana. Yeah,
Right.
save a life, kill the Vice, and the turn with 2 mana open. Unless he has like power and stuff, but
Soul Ring, land. I think maybe a Bolt.
Is it?
Couple
Yeah.
land. Maybe a Psyblast in there as well. Mm-hmm. Rich drew 7 white cards, it looks like.
They're blank. They can be whatever he needs.
Even a moat.
Okay, so Pixies get in. Rich hasn't looked at his cards yet, which is a way of not leaking information.
Yep.
It's a pretty clever play there. I think that this, and then there was a side. I'm pretty sure you're right.
I think that's a Psyblast, and I don't know what the red card might be a Shatter.
Yeah. I think
if it's a Shatter, do you Shatter the Mox right now?
Yeah, because you're going to have Psyblast next turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you have Vice, which limits his options under Vice, and you have Pixies.
Yep.
And he would need to draw the Bolt plus a red source to deal with the Pixies.
Yep.
To have anything to block it or interact with it.
Yeah, and Rich doesn't look
or
thrilled
swords,
with what he has. He does have a Swords.
So Swords.
And then he only takes
after the Vice trigger,
two on the Vice. And the clock is gone.
So he's back up to 7, 6.
There's a land. And a pass. So Counterspell's not up. But Bolt. Rich, I guess, Disenchant is... I don't know what that would... He has... No, that was... The flash counter was Stebo, not Rich.
Yep.
Okay. He could have Red
so
Blast up.
Andy is looking at a Psyblast and 2 other cards from his Sylvan. He kept another one, so he went down to 4, it looks like. So if the Vice triggers and Rich goes down to 1, or Rich takes at least 1, I think Andy has Blast to kill him.
Blast.
Or Andy has a Bolt too.
Okay. That's I mean, the last life point is the only one that matters in the deck. But wow, Andy's putting the question to him right now.
Yep. So okay,
so that's
red
a red
blast from Rich. Yep. So he could potentially have 1 more.
Yeah, but this is kind of the position where you try to just bolt, and they don't have enough mana to counter everything.
Right.
Andy may be out of gas.
Which is maybe why he should have done it during his upkeep too, like after the Vice triggers.
Vice damage. Yeah, I mean, Rich would have had an extra. That would have given Rich Counterspell up plus Red Blast up. This way, at least the Bolt got through. But Rich is also now, Red Blast removes a card. He cast a card. So
True.
The Vice is already.
He's already below, right?
Yeah, he's either got 5 or 4.
Yep.
There's an Earthquake, for how much? Earthquake for some amount. He had 4 mana?
So that was for 4.
Earthquake for 4. So Rich is at 2. He's going to...
Whoa!
Yeah, there it is.
So now Andy's at 1.
Andy's at 1.
Yeah, so Rich did that to get under the Vice.
Yep. And that's a win. That's next turn win if...
And now Psyblast is on a win con.
Psyblast is a draw.
Which I'd be fine with.
I would be fine with too.
As a
yeah, with where the game is at right now, that's a fine outcome for Andy. But he can only keep 1 card, and he's going with the Chaos Orb.
Yep.
Okay, he can.
Does Rich have a Disenchant?
I think you do it now, and either Rich has a Disenchant or he doesn't.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
And let's see.
How's this flipping?
See how Andy
flipping
does.
On the new mat. This is big. This is big.
This is a. Oh. He's thinking. Okay. Not sure.
I don't know what there's to think about.
I don't either. Interesting. I don't fully understand this. He did hit it.
Which was aided by the other card that stopped the sliding.
I actually think it was the mat. Okay. He took him off Counterspell.
Yep, got it.
He took him off Counterspell and had the Bolt. So that makes total sense.
That makes sense.
Also, I believe that the mat, the high quality Calls Brain Lobstercon 2025 playmat, had a role in that Chaos Orb landing on target.
In just making the flip.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if you haven't donated to Room to Grow, you're only hurting your...
Wait a second. Are you saying that I can see that, Matt, right now? Like, let me get a shot of that.
You can see it in action.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it is on my screen there, but here, hold the mat up for the people.
Okay.
So this beauty, right? Calsa Brain, actual Calsa Brain manufactured mat with all new Lobstercon 2025 art by Colin Nord, right? Old school OG. This thing is beautiful. It's super detailed. You probably can't see it great on the stream. I know Dave posted a bunch of hype pictures with this art on this mat. It's absolutely insane. It's beautiful. And donate for your chance to get one, because this is the last one. This is literally the last copy you can get. So
it also increases your Chaos Orb hit rate by about 5%.
Yes.
And if you're a serious old school player who likes to watch, the deck streams to look for tips.
Correct.
You need to hit your orb flips. That is the biggest edge right there. Getting that playmat is the biggest edge you can add to your game.
How do you put a price on adding to your win percentage?
You can't.
Right.
You can't. It's like performance enhancing playmats.
PEPs. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, here we go. So now it's 1-1. Andy did a really nice job in that last game.
And Rich was on a mulligan to 6 here, I
Roll
believe.
to 6 for
Okay.
Rich. Okay, and Andy's on the library this time. Ooh, and Rich
Well
is on the
then.
beatdown.
Well then.
So here we are. So Sarah Angels, though, are a popular thing to bring in from the sideboard because often they take out their swords, and it's a quick clock. It also blocks stuff. Rich is in the driver's seat here. Andy's going to need to find a Psyblast to efficiently deal with that.
I think Chaos Orb, right?
Chaos Orb would work.
Yep.
He
That's
is
it.
on library. You could, as long as he's on library the whole time, it probably isn't terrible to double bolt the Angel to deal with it.
Fair.
Because you have the library going. But you have to deal with the Sarah fairly quickly, because if Rich gets up to 2 blue mana,
Right.
things get hard. And he's probably deciding if he wants to draw a card or cast a spell with his... okay. He had to discard. He had to go to discard. Well, there's an Artifact Blast. And
So
Rich missed another land drop. Oof. Okay. Pretty good. Find the land here.
Yep.
Here, Andy.
So now he's up to
11 cards in hand, something. Okay. Still have to figure
So
out
he's
what
got Double
to do.
Bolt or Psyblast or Chaos Orb.
Yeah.
And I think the Orb is in his hand.
Yeah. Rich does have Disenchant mana open. Okay, there's a
He does.
Psyblast.
Okay,
That's a
good.
good answer. I don't think Rich has a counter that he can cast that's relevant
No.
there. Okay.
Now Andy has some choices to make.
Yeah. Stabilize.
Can't keep all of them.
Can't keep all of them. Rich also used his Black Lotus to get the Angel down, and when it works, it's great. But when it gets removed, the 2-for-1 hurts.
Yep.
Because you don't have Rich doesn't have a card advantage engine online, but Andy's rolling on the library, so.
He's discarding
Wow,
Vice.
Vice.
And looks like another Artifact Blast.
Okay, so if you're Rich, that gives you some clues about the strength of his hand, and the clues are his hand is strong.
Yep. He's gone through a quarter of his deck already.
Yeah. Another library. And now Andy does want to maintain a level of aggression here. He doesn't want Rich to catch back up.
Right.
So you probably want to play a threat here and
Yeah,
start
looks like he's
making
gonna play
Rich
Pixies.
have answers. Interesting. So the Chaos Orb comes out. Just getting a piece of removal on the board while he can.
And Rich, another land drop miss.
Another land drop. You could make a strong case for Andy here to just Chaos Orb one of those Tundras.
Yep.
And if Rich has his Disenchant, so be it.
Right.
But I feel like I want to get a threat on the board here if I'm Andy. Just start getting in the red zone.
Yep.
You don't want to start hitting with your factory yet, because you don't want it to die. You don't want to lose the mana source.
Yeah. So, and he also, it looks like he has, so that's good. I think Rich
Okay.
is at 5 cards.
Something like that.
And it looks like Andy has a Bolt and a Psyblast in hand.
So he's pretty strong. Rich is definitely on the back foot. Andy's in a good commanding position. Library is still working. How many spells did he cast that turn? 2? And no land
He
drop?
played Vice, he played Pixies.
Pixies and Vice, and
and
no
he
land
drew
drop, but no land drop.
no land drop. So
he's still on.
looks like he
He's
does
still on library.
Library active.
Yeah. Rich draw go again. Hard to imagine what cards Rich could have here. If the Sarahs came in,
like-
the Abyss probably is out. He could
Yeah.
have black cards,
Or books.
books. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe a regrowth, and he
Yep.
was thinking he would get to regrow his, worst case, regrow
Rebs,
his Lotus.
his Fireball.
Rebs.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of awkward
He's just
hands.
off colors right now.
Right.
He does have blue-white, which is the main colors, but you can easily end up with a hand that just doesn't have the right combination of mana in a 5-color deck. Okay, there's a counter spell. Probably, I don't know. Would you counter the Sylvan there?
It's hard to tell. I'd probably save it for another creature, honestly,
Uh-huh.
or a burn spell.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably also means Rich doesn't have a disenchant.
Right.
I think you can safely fire off the Chaos Orb here and blow up a land. Regrow.
What are we regrowing?
Regrow Ancestral.
Ancestral, yeah.
That's
then-
the deck style play
Uh-huh.
against the deck. It's a quick 3 cards.
And now he keeps Library online with that.
Yep, library's still up. You can make a land drop here and activate Chaos Orb and blow up the Tundra. Oh, he had to discard. Maybe he already played a land.
maybe. Oh, he played the second factory.
The second factory. Okay. Okay.
So Dio, yep.
Dio the Chaos Orb. That's very reasonable. Use your mana. Okay. Rich just top decked that from the look on his face and the fact that he hadn't cast it already.
So he Dio'd during his own
He
upkeep?
Dio'd during the end step. I think he just didn't untap his lands. I think. I don't know why he would Dio on his
I don't either.
turn.
Huh.
Because Andy didn't have mana to activate it, right? He couldn't
Correct.
have activated it in his upkeep. Okay, but Rich is tapped out, so it's a great time, I think, here to crash in with those factories, unless he needs the mana for burn.
Sure. So doing 6. If he's got the bolt and the Psy Blast, that's another 7. So Rich is effectively at
Okay.
6 life.
Let's see. Okay, there's 6, so he's at 13.
Yep.
And then he's got
got
5
one.
cards.
Oh,
So-
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's looking like he's not sure what his outs, how he's going to get out of this. He did get at least 1 land drop off of the Ancestral
Yep.
and the Soul Ring.
He's scheming now.
He's scheming. Maybe he's thinking about something. He could have a play. It's tough to figure out how to deal with the Pixies and both of those factories.
Right.
Because you can't, there's only so much instant speed removal. Like some of the cards that would be nice here would be things like Balance, but Balance doesn't save you from factories.
Right.
There's Balance.
Speaking of the devil.
Rich has his own factory now, though, but it is summoning 6, so Andy could get in if he wanted to.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Andy's got to lose 1 land. And he takes him off library.
If he's going to go below 5 cards, I think I'd just get rid of the library. You're not going
Right.
back up to 7.
Right.
You've already used your Ancestral and you've regrowed Ancestral. You're not going to get an easy way to get back to 7. And you want to keep the pressure up, be able to cast as much burn as you can. And Rich has 4 cards, so he's got to discard 3. I think I would get
3
rid of
lands,
the,
I think he pitched.
Yeah.
Andy, yeah.
I'd just get rid of the library. You're not going to use it again. Oh, well,
Taiga.
We'll see. Maybe he's got a Brain Geyser, and I'm just way off here. So there's another Volcanic.
So it's Pixies. Maybe that bolt was actually shattered.
In his hand?
Mm-hmm.
That could be. Speaking of Shatter, now Rich isn't going to have a Shatter, but is he going to disenchant? He's probably thinking about whether he's going to chump here and trade factories.
Oh, he took it.
He took it. I think that's probably the right play, because next turn he now has a factory that he can pump to 3 toughness, and so Andy can't attack
This
with both
probably
factories.
needs a counterspell.
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah. You don't want to see, because you can't block that with the factory. So, okay, interesting.
Oh, it was a bolt. Okay.
There's a bolt. Okay, so he gets the bolt through. Could have saved that for the factory, but he's probably putting Rich on counterspells, and Rich had gone tapped out there, so he was vulnerable.
Yep.
Andy can also, in this situation, even though the factory can block and kill one of the attacking factories if it's not pumped, Andy only needs to get 2 through to be
Right.
back in bolt range.
Well, he's got a side blast, right? So he could.
Or yeah, so if he gets one factory, I guess he could kill the factory and hit him. But he would win that turn if he attacks with both factories. Rich blocks one of them, and then takes two
and then side blast. Or yeah, right.
or bolt, and then you just have to hope Rich doesn't counter. Now there's a regrow.
Regrow for counterspell.
Maybe
Or ancestral.
he does have an ancestral he could get. It's hard not to regrow ancestral, but that may mean he's got a counter in his hand. Like if
Oh, but he
Andy,
took one from his City of Brass to do that. So now he's in ancestral range.
He's in or side blast.
Or side blast range.
Yeah.
Oh, always in ancestral range.
So Andy has the opportunity to play side blast before attacks here and gain some information.
Correct.
If Rich counters it. And Rich,
don't know what
by regrowing, if I'm Andy, if Rich regrows Ancestral and not Counterspell there, then I think he's got a Counterspell.
I agree.
Okay. Rich now has single Counterspell mana. Okay, so this from Andy really puts the screws to Rich, because if he counters this, then he's vulnerable to Psyblast.
He would have countered already, I think.
Andy has a Mox in his hand, a red Mox. I don't know if he has another artifact mana source. He has not played a land yet either, so he can get to 3 mana this turn.
Correct.
If Rich counters this. And the Shatters before blocks, so Rich will just take 4 if he doesn't count. Okay.
Wow, he did
here's the
counter. Okay.
So Rich will counter that, and then Andy probably just, lets that happen, even if he had a red blast or something. And there's a sword.
Sword's the other
Okay,
one.
that's fine. He's fully out of counter. He's tapped out. If Andy has land drop, Mox, Ruby, Psyblast. Oof.
I think
Maybe he
it's
doesn't have
just
the land
2
drop?
cards. I think it's just 2 cards are the Mox and the Psyblast.
Okay, that's really unfortunate there. That missing 1 mana. Okay.
Huh. So Rich has 1 card.
has 1 card.
And Andy has a Psyblast.
You just
go
you
for
just
it,
fire
right?
it.
You just absolutely
yeah,
fire
you just
it off.
fire it. And
I think because he's played at least 2 counters already,
Yep. Oh, bolt.
but he
Okay.
doesn't care about Bolt.
Yeah, I think. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Wow. Good job
Wow.
grinding there from Andy.
Yeah,
that was
very good.
really technical. Making the right decision at multiple points, forcing Rich to have answers, and Rich just coming up, an answer or 2 short a couple times.
Yep.
Great. That was a really nice match.
That was great. That was and the first time we saw the deck loose today on camera.
Great. Well, maybe not great for Rich.
Not right.
But it's good to see.
It had to happen sometime.
Sometimes it
Yep.
happens.
Yep.
It's not always
So we got to see that both the deck and Rich Shay are both mortal.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes,
That's
it's
crazy.
true.
That's crazy.
It's true.